So hi guys, in this particular tutorial I will teaching you how you can design the back cover of a jotter, of a burial jotter. So we will not be wasting much time on this one because we have talked a lot on the other classes, and I guess by now you're supposed to have mastered what we have been doing, so no need to start wasting much time here. We'll just go. I will continue with the design, so your own is just to listen and pay attention so that you understand what I'm saying. So let me cancel this. So the as you can see in this particular work now, in this particular design, I'll be making use of this background and calendar, this calendar one and this background too. Then the third image I'll be making use of is their photo. So now let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is to open my Photoshop and create a5 page, sorry. So we already have a5 page here. So what I'm going to do is to change this into inches, resolution 300. Then I click OK. So I start by, first of all, I will import the background by left clicking on it and hold. If you left click, you hold, then you drag and touch Photoshop, then drag and touch the bar until it shows you copy or plus sign, then you now leave it. Then the next thing you are going to do is to pick move tool, drag this background from the center, hold, left click and hold, drag it to the bar of the page you are designing on, then drag it at the center before you now leave it. Then now you can leave it. So I will leave it. So the background has entered the page. So the next thing I'm going to do is to expand it. So for me to expand it, I'll hold shift key, remember that. So don't forget to hold shift key anytime you want to expand any image. Then you come to the edge icons of the image, edge move tool icons, then you drag. So you drag, you position it the way you want. So this size is okay for me. I don't know the one that will be okay for you, but this is the way I want my design to look. So I will click. You understand? So the next thing I'm going to do is to import the image. You understand? So but first of all, I have a white background here. So and I would like this white background, I would like this main background now to penetrate on this white background. So first of all, I would even like to change it black and white. So how can I change this background now to black and white? I can change it black and white by pressing Ctrl Shift U. Ctrl Shift U. If you press Ctrl, you hold it. You press Shift, you hold it. Then you press U button. That will give you black and white. Ctrl plus Shift plus U. Don't forget that. So as you can see, I've changed this thing to black background. So for me to make it to penetrate this background now, this white background, I'll have to reduce the opacity. So I can put the opacity something like 50. As you can see, the background is reducing, it's penetrating, it's becoming faint. So what I'm gonna do now, let me leave it on this 49. So the next thing I'm going to do is to import their pictures. So now I hold this picture, drag, touch Photoshop, then touch this bar, leave it. So let me cancel this one because I'm done with using it. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to hold this, to drag this image to the page you are working on. So I'll just hold it, drag and touch this bar, then this page will open. Then I will drag it inside, then I will remove my hand. So you can see what I have here. The next thing I'm going to do is to expand it. So I expand. This is the concept I want. I don't know for you, you can create a different thing while doing your own, but this is what I want to create. So I double click, for it to turn back to its original shape, or I press enter or mark the code, but I've already done that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to turn this image also to black and white by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus U. I've turned it to black and white. So the next thing I'm going to do is to reduce the opacity of this image. Reducing the opacity of this image, you now make this image to penetrate inside the background. So I'll come here, click on this arrow, then drag it in. As you can see, I've reduced the opacity of this image. Can you see it? I've reduced it. So as it is now, it is okay from okay. Let me make it 70. So as it is now, this image is okay for me. So I'm done with importing the background. The next thing I'm going to do is to bring the calendar. So I'll go back, open here. This is where I kept the calendar. So I'll now drag it again, bring it to Photoshop, touch this bar till it shows copy or plus icon. Then I'll remove my hand. Let me cancel this one too, because I'm not going to use it again. So the next thing I'm going to do is to drag this calendar to the page. So I'll just do it this way. As you can see, I've done that already. So the next thing I'm going to do is to expand this calendar. Do you understand? Creating calendar from Photoshop will take a lot of time. So I just went to Google to download this calendar. I just browsed about 2022 calendar. So Google has to give me this image, and I downloaded it and used it on this work. Understand? So the main thing you need to know is how to make your work easier for you. So if I start designing calendar inside Photoshop, we might not leave this class till tomorrow. So the best thing I have to do is to go to Photoshop, Google, and browse about anything I want. So I browsed about this calendar and I downloaded it. So now the next thing we are gonna do now is typographies. So now let's start with typographies, because I'm already done in the background manipulation. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is to zoom. Then I'll create a rectangular shape here in which I will be writing my typographies on it. So it's quite easy and quite simple. So I'll just click on this rectangular marquee tool. I will come here. First of all, create an empty layer by clicking on this icon. Create a new layer. That is the name of this icon. New layer. That is empty layer. Then I create. There's nothing on this layer now. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to create a shape that I want. I need a rectangular shape. So as I drag it like this, and I will be using this color here. So what I'm going to do now is, you can choose any color you want, but this is the color I want. So I'll use this paint bucket tool or bucket pen tool to, once I click inside this rectangular shape I created on this layer, it will automatically pour this color inside this shape and create a shape for me. So I'll just click once, boom. As you can see, I've created a shape already. So I'll deselect by pressing Ctrl D. Ctrl plus D is deselect. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'll click here, and I'll start typing. As you can see, what we have here is brown and brown. So brown and brown is the same. So this time around I have to change this color to white so that I can see what I'm typing. So let me increase the font size. Again. Something like 10 is okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'll start typing. Thanks for coming. Wow, that's fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use move tool drag this typography inside this rectangular shape, then expand. You understand? Then I will expand. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to, I don't like this font, so I'm going to check another font that will be okay for me. So I click on this type tool, then click on font list, so I can select any font I want. Okay, let me use this one. This one should be okay for me. Then what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to I think this is okay for me. This is okay for me. Then I'll use move tool and bring it down. Then I'll still expand it again. This is my own concept. You can create a different thing if you like. You can still use this concept if you like it. So thanks for coming. Then the last typography here should be courtesy. So now I don't need to start afresh and create this rectangular shape again. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to highlight the layer, then press Ctrl J to duplicate this layer. Look, Ctrl J, this layer has been duplicated. Then I drag down and I drag one down, then I reduce. The size because this is courtesy. So the next thing I'm going to do is to zoom this place and write the name of the courtesy. Then the name is Dr. A.D. Agbo family. So Dr. A.D. Agbo family. So this A.D. I'm going to change it to capital letter. I will highlight them, press my caps lock, then A.D. Agbo, because A.D. is somebody's name and Agbo is also somebody's name. So I'll have to start it with capital letter. So the next thing I'm going to do is to resize, that is to expand this right up to fit here. Then what I'm going to do now is I'll change this font because I don't like this font. So what I'm going to do is to check a font that will be okay for me. Then I scroll down till I get to the font I need. You keep checking till you get the font you need. This is okay for me. This font is okay for me. So what I'm going to do is to arrange so that it will align in shape. Then I think I'm done. This work is now okay. I can now print it as A5 and use it for the folding of the cover, the Jotter cover. So what I'm going to do again is I would like to add my imprint. Remember, I told you imprint is always at the back cover, not at the front cover. Imprint is my company name and phone number, so that maybe if another person should see the work, the person can contact me from there. So what I'm going to do is I will go to image, because this is in a portrait form. I'll have to rotate it in a landscape form so I can see what I'm doing very well. So what I'm going to do now is click on image rotation, click on clockwise. So I've rotated the image. So what I'm going to do now again is I'll come here. No need to start afresh and create a white background layer. What I'm going to do is just I will come here, click on this layer, Then I'll duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J. Then if I press Ctrl J, I can now carry one. Then I'll rotate it from the edge. I'll rotate it. It's quite easy. Once you bring your mouse here, you will see your mouse will show you a bending icon. You might not be able to see it because of the screen record I'm using, but in your own Photoshop, I guess it will appear. Once you bring your mouse at the edge of here, you will see a mouse pointer that looks as if something is bent. You understand? So you use it and rotate it. So I'll bring it here. This is a brown color, so what I'm going to do is to change this thing to white. You understand? What I'm going to do is to change this thing to white. So for me to change it to white, it's already brown. For me to change it to white, I can pick white color here and use this paint bucket to click here and add the white, or I can press Ctrl Shift U. Remember, Ctrl Shift U is black and white, so I can press Ctrl U. You understand? So remember, Ctrl Shift U is black and white to change image in a black and white color. So but Ctrl U is hue and saturation. Hue and saturation. So what I'm going to do now is this place there is lightness. This lightness, that is the value. Is it that if I turn it to black, it will turn to black. If I drag it to black, it will turn to black. If I drag it to white, it will automatically turn to white. So I've already changed it to white. So what I'm going to do again is to add outline to this layer now. Then I'll click Effects, click on Stroke. Then I'll add dark outline. Then I click OK. Do you understand? So when I click OK, the next thing is now to add my imprint, which is my phone number. Let me reduce my font size. So which is my phone number. Here is white and here is white. So I would like to use dark on the typography, black color. So I pick black. So I'll start writing Vista Tech Graphics and print. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to write my phone number, which is 0808110472472. So that is my phone number. Then I'll have to drag it in here. I'll have to drag it in. Then I'll expand. Yes, this is okay. Then I'll have to reduce the length, the height of this one. So by using this center icon to drag. So I'll have to click enter or double click or mark this good. Let me mark this good. So now I'm done with everything I need to do on this work. So the last thing, last but not the least, is grid. So let me rotate this back to portrait form instead of landscape. So you know, when we were going on landscape, I use clockwise. So this time around I have to use anti-clockwise, which is counterclockwise. So I click here. As you can see, to have gone back to each portrait form. So now the next thing we are going to do is grid mapping. So for us to grid this work, grid is just arrangement so that it will be in order, it will be in a scaled form. So I click on view, click on show grid. Then I'll be using this center line. For this work. So I'll click on this first one now. So I will make sure that these two center icon here will align with this center line. So I'll use my arrow key, the one that goes to my right hand side. and I'll press it to push this thing to right. So as you can see, it is these two box now is in the same line with this one. So the next thing I'm going to do is to click this right up here. Then I'll have to look at where the box is, the center icon is. So I'll have to move it at my left hand side so it can go this way. It can go to this line. Then I use my arrow key I press. So I've aligned these two. So the next thing I'm going to do is to align this calendar. I click on calendar. The calendar is almost there, so I'll just have to push it small. So calendar is now okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to check the down typography, the courtesy. Oh, this courtesy is almost there. So I'll push this one also to join the line. So this is the main work. So I now have to go back to my show to remove my grid, then click on grid again. The grid has gone out. So this is the back cover of the Jotter. This is how to design it. As you can see, it's very easy and simple. So what I'm going to do now is to save it. You understand? I can save by pressing Ctrl Shift S. That is all. Go to my file and click on save as. Then I save as Photoshop. I go to lesson down. Then I'll save here. I'll save it as HHHHH. Then I'll save. I'll first of all save as Photoshop. Then go to file again, click on save as. Then I save in JPEG. This JPEG is the format that my system can view, or my phone or any device. Then I click OK. Then I'm done. I'll have to go back. This is the work I did. So this is the work I did, and let me copy this one. Let me paste it here. So you see there is no much difference. There's no much difference between this work and this work. This one is the printed one, but this is in a mock-up format. Then this is the design one. So as you can see, we don't perform magic here. We create everything from scratch. That's the reason why we are here, to learn how to create everything from scratch. We don't manipulate anything. We don't do magic. All of them are very easy. So thank you guys for participating. See you in the next class. Please try and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that will motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much. See you in the next